All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ATP Finals, day 5, I think we're at. Day 5? 4. 5. 4. 5. Day 5. Final matches of this group. We don't know officially yet who's into the semis because mathematically anyone could make it or not make it, including De Minaur. We do have Sinner already into the semis in the Bjorn Borg group. Alcaraz obviously in the best place. He's won both his matches. Fritz De Minaur here. Fritz kind of needs to win this match because if Musetti miraculously takes out Alcaraz, it could go on a countback. So Fritz needs to win this one. And the head-to-head is pretty, very split. They haven't played for over a year though. And De Minaur obviously wanting to try and bury the memory of that horrible last match that was just devastating for everybody. So, and then, of course, later we've got Musetti versus Alcaraz. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? Are we ready to finish this group and get to the semis? Are we ready? De Minaur can win this. Now, in order for... So, the math is a little bit weird because it's not simple, right? It's not like the other group where it's like, well, this match, if whoever wins is into the semis and this match doesn't matter. This match, again, mathematically, there could be a possibility that De Minaur could get through. It'd be miraculous. The only way I think he could get through is really if he wins. So he needs to win and he needs Alcaraz to beat Musetti, right? So if that happens, then Alcaraz, he wins the group 3-0, but everybody else is on 1 win, 2 loss. And when that is the case, it goes on a countback. If there's 3 players tied on the same win-loss record, it goes on a countback. First it starts with sets and then it goes to games. And the set score, if De Minaur wins this in straights, will be 3 sets won, 4 sets lost. If Fritz will be 3 sets won, 4 sets lost. And Musetti would be 2 sets won, 5 sets lost. So Musetti would be out. And then it would go back onto games because De Minaur and Fritz, it would go back on games. Now that's it saying we're getting straight sets matches, right? Actually, hang on. Does it go back on countback? Percentage of sets, head-to-head record of 2 players remain. Okay, so if it does, in fact, if De Minaur wins in straights and Alcaraz wins in straights, it'll go on sets. But because Musetti's only won 2 sets and he would have lost 5, and De Minaur would have won, and Fritz would have won 3 sets and lost 4, then it would go on the head-to-head based on the 2 players that are left equal, which means De Minaur would qualify. So if De Minaur wins in straights and Alcaraz wins in straights, De Minaur would qualify. If I'm getting that right. That could be a thing. So there is a chance. There is a slight chance. Well, no, actually not even a slight chance. There is a chance that De Minaur could qualify. He just needs to win in straight sets and then hope Alcaraz does the same. And then it won't matter on countback because Musetti would have already lost... lost too many sets. If Musetti lost in 3 sets against Alcaraz, then we would have to redo the maths. But yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's right. Anyone back me up if that's... let me know if that's right or wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm reading that correctly. Anyways, before this match starts, we've been working with Trace all week. Thank you to Trace for teaming up with us this week. If you haven't joined up yet, sign up. We'll go through it now. So I'll show you how things... that is correct? Okay, good. So click the link, sign up. It's free. And you can win prizes, including Taylor Fritz and Alex De Minaur player gear and player equipment. So it is... there is a chance you could win something if you're a Fritz or a De Minaur fan. All right, so you'll sign up. All you got to do is put your email in. They'll send you an email. You get a code. You put it in. It's all good. And then you go to enter the program. You go enter tournament. And then all you got to do is you just got to pick who you're going for today. So it's not even it's not a prediction thing. You don't have to worry about being wrong or right. You can just pick who you're going for. So I'm going for Alcaraz against Musetti, and I'm going to go for De Minaur against Fritz. You hold it to claim the collectible. And ta-da! There you go. Match day 5 rewards locked. So now I am in a sweepstake entry for a Taylor Fritz shirt. You also get a daily collectible, which is a cool like the cool graphics that we did last year. Remember last year when we were like, going through this every day and we got to name the posters. This year we don't get to name them, but you do get those as well. And as you can see here, if you've been doing it every day, it'll cross them off. Now, if you haven't been here all week and you're here for the first time this week, you don't have to be here all week. It says 3 different days, 4 different days. So as long as you're here for the rest of the tournament and you're claiming them every day, you will go into the draw, into the sweepstake entry for some of these prizes, all right? But if you're in here, if you've been here from the start, then here is your daily reminder to do your picks. But yeah, so there's some of the prizes you got signed. If you're only here for 2 days, so if you do it today and you do it tomorrow and then you forget about it, you could go on the sweepstake. Well, you go on the sweepstake entry for a signed tennis ball. There's Taylor Fritz headband. There's a Ben Shelton item. There's ATP merch, towels, hats, Taylor Fritz shirt. You've got the Jannik Sinner signed shirt as well, which I think is one of the banger items. And then if you've been here all week, Alex De Minaur racket is up for grabs as well. So there you go. That's all you got to do. You got 10 hours. 10 hours to get it done today. And also, if you go to Vault, the Vault, if you're on the app, here are the collectibles. So you can see here are the posters. Remember, again, last year we did this with them, and it was a little bit different look, but I love this. This looks crazy cool. And then it's got like a little bit of I think the player messages. So this is what Musetti put on the camera. He signed on the camera after the De Minaur win. There's a couple other players that have kind of that camera signing that they do after the matches. They get put on as well. So there you go. So make sure you join. If you haven't joined, make sure you join now because, again, it's free and you could win something. Like you could go into the draw to win some player merchandise or some player memorabilia, I should say. Merchandise is not the right word. Memorabilia. So make sure you join up and sign up if you haven't already. And if you have, make sure you claim right now so then you can be in for the next one. All right. Here we go. They're doing their pre-match entertainment, which is like the interpretive dancing they've been doing. But how are we doing, chat? Are we ready to go? So again, like I said, if I'm reading this correctly, so it says here, because the group has not been determined, right? We haven't got anyone out of this group yet. I mean, there's a chance that Alcaraz could miss out, but it's a very slim chance. But there is a chance that he could also miss out. So the way that the group standings are determined, it starts with number of wins, right? So if you've won 3 matches and everybody else has won 2, you're going to be better than everybody else. If you've won 2 and everybody else has won 1, then you're going to be better than everybody else, right? So that is what's determined first. Next one is number of matches. So let's say Bublik came in and he played 2 matches, but he didn't play the first match because he was an alternate. Then if somebody has got 2 wins, 1 loss, and he has 2 wins and 0 losses, the 2 wins, 1 loss would be above him, right? We don't have to worry about that this week. That's next year's problem. If the players are tied, it goes on head-to-head record. Now, not based on overall head-to-head, based on who won the match at this tournament. So, for example, if Musetti and Fritz are both on 1 win, 2 losses, or 2 wins, 1 loss, then it would go down to whoever won out of those 2, right? So that's why tomorrow when Zverev and FAA play, it's basically... sorry, not that one. If the reason why Sinner's already topped the group is even if Sinner loses the Shelton, he beat FAA and he beat Zverev. So if Zverev or FAA are 2 wins, 1 loss, and they're equal with Sinner, Sinner gets through because he beat them in this tournament. So head-to-head is based on head-to-head in the group, not head-to-head overall, right? If 3 players are tied, which could happen today, either way, it could be 3 players are tied on 2 and 1. It could be 3 players are tied on 1 and 2. Then it goes down to percentage of sets. Now, that's not based on it's based on how many sets are won against how many sets are lost. So Alcaraz, for example, he's won 4 out of 5 sets. That's 80%. That's his set percentage, right? So that is the next step. Now, if 2 players are tied on that exact same thing, then it goes down to, again, head-to-head. So head-to-head is the different determining factor. So like I said, if Alcaraz beats Musetti in straights, and De Minaur beats Fritz in straights, doesn't matter if it's 2 tiebreaks or love and love, De Minaur and Fritz will be on the exact same win-loss, 1 win, 2 losses. So will Musetti, but Musetti, unfortunately, has lost a lot more sets, so he will be on a lower set percentage. But De Minaur and Fritz will be on the same set percentage, which means it goes to head-to-head, which means whoever won this match, which would have been De Minaur, if De Minaur, does get the exact same set win-loss as Fritz, then De Minaur would get through. So that's, if you want De Minaur to get through like I do, he needs to win this in straight sets, and then he also needs Alcaraz to win in straight sets, and he will get through. If you want Musetti to get through, you need De Minaur win this match, but you need Musetti to beat Alcaraz. Or even, you need Musetti to beat Alcaraz, and then, it'll go down to the math. So Musetti still needs to win. If you need him to go through, if you want Fritz to go through, he needs to win this match. If Fritz wins this match, doesn't matter what happens next, because Fritz will be through, and so will Alcaraz. Because Fritz will get through. He should get through because he beat Musetti, so it should work out in his favor there. But again, it's a little complicated, but we'll get to it. You named Alex De Minaur Demon, and the nickname is real bad luck for him. I didn't name him I didn't name him Demon. That's just a common name that everybody uses for him. Why is it my fault? Why are you blaming me? I didn't do nothing. Everybody calls him the Demon. He calls himself Demon. It's got nothing to do with me. Coming here blaming me. What are you doing up anyway? It's past midnight in Australia. Go to bed. You got work in the morning. Get out of here. Come here blaming me. Round robin is simple. There's tiebreaker if same record. Yeah, so the head-to-head, whoever won the match in the group, if it's a tie, then goes through. It's not that simple, but you made it sound simple, but it's not that simple. The Demon lost to Musetti still hurts. Oh, yeah. It's brutal. But he can still get through the semis. If he does win this in straight sets, he puts himself in a good position. There are 16 combinations, and Fritz goes through if he wins this match. Yeah, it's like when we came into the final day of the, we came into the final day of last week's WTA Finals. Group stage, we have the same situation where it's like, if so-and-so does this and so-and-so does that, then this happens. But from a Demon point of view, if he wins in straight sets, then, and that's all I care about, then he gives himself a chance. And he can beat Fritz. He has beaten Fritz. They haven't played for over a year, though, so that's going to be interesting. And Fritz also said he had a bit of a knee problem towards the end of the Alcaraz match. They played in the Davis Cup last year. It was straight sets for Fritz. They played also in the ATP Finals last year. It was a 3-setter to Fritz. And then they also played in the United Cup last year, and it was straight sets De Minaur. But yeah, Demon has had a good record against Fritz over the time. It's just the last two matches, which were, again, over a year ago, that were straight sets. But yeah, so basically if Demon loses a set, he's out. And then we can break it down to the next level of what does that mean. All right. And then, of course, we've got Musetti and Alcaraz coming up later, much later. By the way, the semi-finals back-to-back. Please tell me the semi-finals are back-to-back. Please tell me the semi-finals are back-to-back. I don't want to have to do this schedule again. This schedule, please don't make this semi-finals like 3 days apart. Please. Please. Oh, no, the semi-finals are still years apart, kind of. Oh, yuck. The semi-finals are also... God, that's so annoying. Semi-finals are 5 hours apart. I know. I just seen that. That's so shit. That's such... Oh, man. Like, it's fine for, like, ticket sales, I guess, but it sucks for broadcast or, like, people watching at home. It sucks. It sucks. They got to, at least on a Saturday when there's other sports going on, people are going to flick off tennis after the first match and forget to come back. And they're going to like after dinner go, oh wait, tennis is on. Whoops. Then they're going to be watching other sports. I just think it's like I get it for like the whatever ticket sales, but for broadcasts, it's you're asking people to like come back. People are going to forget there's 2 matches on, 5-hour gap is crazy. Yeah. Semis have to be back-to-back. No disrespect to doubles. I agree. I think the semifinals need to be back-to-back. I even think the doubles need to be back-to-back. I think the doubles should be back-to-back. Because, putting one doubles on in the day and one at night, and then you got to put the doubles the next day on the Friday. Like, you got to put doubles back-to-back. I despise the gap. Yeah, it's. I don't think anyone's like, yay, I love having 5 hours to go about my day and come back and watch more tennis. It's like, no, let's just do it in a big block and then put doubles on first and then singles, But then they can't sell 2 tickets, I guess. You'd have to have the 1 ticket. You couldn't do night session and day session because night session would be, there wouldn't be a night session. It'd just be 1 session. Momentum going, but it's true. Yeah. It's not. It doesn't feel like a smart choice for people that are trying to watch at home. It's definitely not in our best interest, but it's definitely it's in the interest of the tournament to have 2 different sessions for sure because they can sell 2 different tickets, a day and a night session. But for the broadcasters, the audience at home, having it this far apart is brutal. It is brutal, and plus the second match is on at 9 o'clock at night, or 8:30 at night. It's like you're really stretching the friendship. For European viewers, not so much for me because I'm fucked anyway. But for Europeans, you're like, yeah. By the way, you got to stay up late tonight because if that goes match 3, it goes 3 hours. You got to stay up till midnight on a weekday to watch tennis. I mean, that's asking a lot. But hey, what would I know? What would we know, Joe? We know nothing. We're fans. We just got to smile and nod and go to the matches and watch the matches. We're going to watch them anyway. They've got us by the balls, all right? We got no choice, all right? We got no choice. We're going to put tennis on this time. Okay. I don't like it, but I'm going to watch it because I can't help myself. We're addicts. We can't help it, Joe. It's just, oh, God. See, we need our fix. And they know it. And they know it. They know it. They know it. They're like, oh, I'm going to make you stay up all night. I'm like, oh, I will. I know I will. I don't want to, though. Can you please be a little bit nicer? Nah. Starting at midnight, next match at 6:30 a.m. Oh, but I really want to get some sleep. Nah. Okay, fine. I'll see you at 6:30. They got me. If Fritz wins in 2, Musetti will get in if he beats Carlos in 2. That's possible, but I'm not sure exactly what the math is. Anyways, let's hope De Minaur wins, right? Right. All right, Fritz going to serve. I'm gonna go. I think I went Fritz in 3, but I'm gonna obviously I want De Minaur to win. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Fritz, forehand from Demon is long and it's 15-love. By the way, Chad, I found this app where I can catalog all my movies, and it's so good because you can search. And this is what I find when I'm out and about in the wild is I can search by actor and I can search by director. So if I'm like, hey, do I have that movie? I can look it up and I can see all the movies that Leo DiCaprio's in, and then I can go, oh, I don't have that one. It's so good. It was $20, but I think it's worth it for the hundreds of years I'm going to use this. Because I'm immortal, apparently. Anyways, 15 love. I'm a vampire. All right, 4 out of 4 in rally. That's De Minaur on there, 30 love. But yeah, I'm pumped. I just got to go and scan every single movie on my shelf, which is a couple of hundred. Why do I want De Minaur to win, bro? I don't know. No idea. What? Because? But yeah, check it out. This is sick. Look at all this. You just see all. I love all the posters. You just see all the movies, and you can sort them in by what you've watched and what you haven't watched, which is also very helpful because there's a lot of movies I bought that I haven't watched. 30 love. As a return goes back into Fritz. 4 now from Demon. Demon hits out. 40 love. $40 love. $40 love. As we have a fault, second serve. There's a double fault, Fritz. 40-15. Have you watched 13 Assassins, Great Samurai movie? No, I haven't. I have not watched that movie. Serving to the back into De Minaur. Fritz forehand is a winner. 1 love, Fritz. Count of Oz in chat 67. Count of USA in chat 1. I have no idea what you just said. That was a confusing sentence. But I'm sure you understood that. Who have I been most impressed or proud of this year? Who have I been most impressed with this year? Probably Shelton. As a fan of Shelton, I've loved to see him progress and him do well, especially at the Slams. You know, he's only lost to the top guys at the Slams except for the US Open. So I'm going to say Shelton. I mean, Fonseca obviously is another one, but I think Shelton's probably been the most impressive that he's taken that next step so quickly, because I thought, oh, maybe he'll like hover around the top 20 for a while and then it'll click, but it seems like this year it's obviously clicked. So, yeah, probably Shelton on the men's side. It's been good to see him win a 1,000 title. Obviously, Fonseca has been great to watch too. So those are probably the two, yeah. On the women's side, don't know. I've just been, you know what, with the WTA, it's not like one player. I think I've just been impressed by like everybody. How like competitive it's gone, you know, how good it is. Like the WTA, again, it's such a shame that they just don't know how to, like they're not doing a very good job at promoting what they're doing, what they've got. Because right now, the WTA this year has been so good, right? So competitive, so interesting. They've got young stars. They've got, players between 25 and 30. They've still got the players that, everybody knows. Legends still there, right? Future Hall of Famers are there. I mean, it's just so good. WTA is like, but they just don't know how to, this has been the best WTA season probably since, I don't know, maybe 2000, in the 2000s, maybe? When like Serena and Sharapova were up there. It just feels like, and maybe you might not like the quality compared to them, because if you look back, go like Justin N and Kim Kleister's, all these players, you're like, holy shit. But in terms of like competitiveness between the top 10 and evenness of like the even spread of titles, like no one has dominated, right? Multiple players have won multiple big trophies. We've had some crazy matches between those top 8 or top 10, I just wish the WTA knew how to like, tell everybody that, that it's so good. Yeah. But that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it for free. All right. 40-30. Demon with a backhand down the line. He comes in with a volley and puts it away. And it's 1-0. Who do you think will win this one? I'm going to go De Minaur in 3. No, I said Fritz in 3, but I want De Minaur to win. All right. 1-1. As the return goes in by Demon, 15 love. All right, 15 love. As return is good. And it's 15 all. Wozniacki suggested decibel limits of grunt noises. What was this, like 10 years ago? 15-30, De Minaur wins a point. All right, 15-30. As Fritz serves a fault, second serve. In a recent interview. Come on. All right, backhand return goes to the backhand of Fritz. Slice from Demon to the backhand of Fritz. But Demon hit it out. Oh my God. $30-all. I'm cringing inside chat. This is 30-40. Demon's got a break point. Oh, so lame. Caroline Wozniacki has called for tours to introduce a rule addressing excessive on-court grunting. That's so... 400 rally. As a backhand now from Fritz. De Minaur gets on the stretch. Fritz backhand down the line in the net. All right. Demon breaks. 2-1. What did she actually say? John Isner asked Wozniacki what rule change she would introduce to the WTA level. And she said, there should be a decibel thing, so you can't grunt over a certain level. I think that should be a rule. And also the length of the grunt. I think that would be great. Because I was never a big grunter. I never made a sound when I was playing. You can't hear someone hit the ball properly when someone is screaming so loud. I think it just really disturbs the opponent in some way. And I think as a fan, you really don't want to listen to that either. I know that sometimes it helps you and sometimes I don't know. But I think that should be a rule, and the younger generation should start off just by being a bit more quiet. Disagree. All right. I think Wozniacki's had a problem with people grunting for her whole career, though. Like, I'm pretty sure she's had run-ins with players for grunting. Like, she has... Yeah, like, back in 2022, there was a match that she was annoyed at somebody for grunting. So I think that she's just had a... She has, like even against Sharif, apparently, a couple of years ago, she was angry about somebody grunting. She says it's unfair that people grunt. She's been saying this for years. Like, this is not something new, right? She's been anti-grunt for forever. It's like obviously she hates it. Like for the last for her whole career, it seems like most of her career she seemed like anti-grunt. By the way, Serena grunts. Is she talking about Serena or is she talking about Maria Sharapova? Who is she meaning? I don't know. But a lot of players grunt. Does she not like it when Rafa grunted? Does she not like Alcaraz grunting? Does she not like Sabalenka? Is it... Yeah. Can you imagine if you never grunted and then one shot you just went for the ball a little bit too hard and you made a noise and then you lost the point because the grunting decibelometer was too high? Can you imagine? Just one time you grunt, you lose the point on match point. It's like break point, and you get just grunt because you're stretching out wide and you grunt too loudly, and then that'd be crazy. Man, it's 15-0. Isn't she friends with Serena? Well, yeah. Serena grunted a lot. 15-0. As a return goes in the forehand of Demon. Backhand now from Fritz is a winner. Beautiful shot down the line, 15-30. Hey! Thank you, Laura, for the 48 months. Holy shit. That's 4 years. Thank you for the 48 months. All right. So that's not a surprising comment by Wozniacki because she's been anti-grunt for a lot of her career. She hasn't liked it for a lot, so that's not just something new. All right, 15-30. And there is a rule for grunting. You can't grunt too long, otherwise it's a hindrance. That's a fact. It's up to the umpire to determine that, though. As it a backhand rally. As with a forehand now from Fritz in the net, 30-0. Demon's already got the break. Is it a forehand rally? And then Fritz again, the forehand of Demon. He goes down the line, the backhand of Fritz. Demon or slice. Into the forehand of Fritz. A Demon or backhand. To the backhand of Fritz. The backhand of Demon. Fritz with a slice on the stretch. Demon or forehand inside out. Great shot. Fritz gets it, but it's in the net. 40-30. Nice from Demon. All right. By the way, Chad, here's the rule on the WTA rulebook. I'll tell you in a second about hindrance, right? Just so anybody who's like, Sabalenka should be banned for life because she made a grunt. I'll tell you the rules so then you can, maybe understand why she's not hindering, or at least whose job it is to determine whether or not it's hindrance. Backhand rally. As Fritz into the backhand of Demon. Backhand for Fritz. Into the backhand of Demon. As Fritz with a drop shot. Demon was going to get it though. And put it away. Too good. Demon. 3-1. So there's a hindrance rule in 132 of the rule book of the WTA. It says, a hindrance may result from a corrected call by an umpire or an event on the court that may be ruled involuntary or deliberate. Any continual distraction of regular play, such as grunting, shall be dealt with in accordance with Section H, which is the hindrance rule. So, a continual distraction of regular play, such as grunting. Now, I guess does it have a more of a specific? Because the rule, I think the unwritten rule, maybe it's unwritten, is that if you grunt and the ball crosses the net and you're still making a noise, that is too far. But if you're grunting and the ball hasn't crossed the net, then, and obviously that changes if you're at the net or if you're hitting a smash compared to the baseline, right? But that's sort of that is the loose rule of if your opponent's not hitting a shot, if your opponent's hitting a shot and you're making a noise, then that's a hindrance. But anything before that is not a hindrance. 15 love. But let me see if there's anything that mentions that. 30 Love. Deliberate hindrance is any hindrance caused by a player that is ruled deliberate will result in the loss of a point. So ruled deliberate. So that's, again, ruled by the umpire. So again, it's the umpire's job to enforce this stuff. So if the umpires don't feel like it's a hindrance, then it's not a hindrance. Even if you think it is. If you think Sabalenka or somebody else's grunting is a hindrance, it's ruled by the umpire. So if it's ruled a hindrance, they'll call a hindrance and you will lose the point for making noise. But if the umpires aren't calling it, then therefore it's not a hindrance, and then therefore you need to just deal with it if you don't like it. But again, like where the rule is, again, if you're making a noise while they're hitting, that's hindrance. If you're hitting the ball and making a noise, that's not hindrance. You're not affecting the other person, except for, what Wozniacki was saying with when you're hitting the ball, if you make a noise while you hit the ball, you can't hear the spin off the racket, but, is that a massive advantage? Maybe, maybe not, depending. But either way, Sabalenka does it all the time. Yeah, because it's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not illegal. Sabalenka way too loud, but it's not illegal. It's not a hindrance to the other player as deemed by the umpire. It's not a hindrance. If it was, the umpires would call it. The officials would call it. If it hurts your ears, turn down the volume. Backhand to backhand rally. There's a bit of forehand now from Fritz. Slice from Demon. And Fritz with a volley in the net. Nice little backhand from Demon, 40-30. But again, it's like, if you're like, oh, Sabalenka's too loud. Cool, but it's not illegal, so she doesn't have to be quiet. There's no rule about being quiet or being loud. Like, there's no rule. So, again, you're just going to have to get over it. It's not illegal, so you just got to have to deal with it. Fritz in the net, deuce. Sabalenka's loud. I understand that. You find her loud. Not illegal. Not a hindrance, not a problem. There's nothing wrong with it. Even if you don't like it, it's not illegal. Nothing changes if it's not a problem for the umpire. He's going to return now in the net from Demon. Advantage Fritz. You can grump and not talk, asked Mehdi. Well, the reason why Medvedev, he got called for that hindrance was because he said sorry as Bublik was hitting the ball. You're not allowed to say things or make noise when the other person is hitting the ball. Right? And that's why, if you rewatch that, I've got to rewatch it as well, but Mehdi said sorry as Bublik hit the smash, and that was a hindrance because if he missed that smash, he could have said, well, Medvedev made a noise when I was hitting, which is a hindrance. It's not a hindrance if they're not making a noise while the other person's hitting the ball. Anyways, Demon over the lob goes long, and Fritz, he holds. 3-2 Demon. All right. Is Demon the David Ferrer of this generation? Yeah, he's the David Ferrer, Nikolai Davydenko of this generation, yeah. I would say so. The fastest guy on the tour, yeah. The defender of the tour. Swiatek waving her hands in the air was a hindrance. Exactly. Because that was distracting. Anything that distracts or hinders the opponent while they're playing, hitting the ball, that is a hindrance. But again, if you don't, I know a lot of people don't like Sabalenka's grunting. It's too bad. It's not illegal. It's not affecting the other person. It might annoy them, right? They might get pissed off and it might affect them like that, but that's their problem. They're going to get over it. Because Sabalenka's not doing anything that's... Like, if she was grunting when the other person was hitting, obviously that's illegal. That's a hindrance. But that's I just read you the rules. And if the umpires thought it was a hindrance, she would have been called for it many times. She does it every match for every point. Every time she hits a ball, she grunts, right? So if she was doing anything wrong, she's like, what, 27 now? she hasn't. Sabalenka's been grunting her whole career. No umpire has said anything. Players have said things. No umpire has said anything. No umpire has penalized her. So therefore, they feel like it's not a problem. So, it's not going to change. That's it. End and end. All right. She doesn't grunt, she screams. She can scream as she hits the ball. It doesn't matter. As long as it doesn't affect the other person. She can't do it while the other person's hitting. She can make noise as much as she wants when she hits the ball. Doesn't matter. There's no rule against making noise when you hit the ball. Hindrance is when you're hindering the other person. Just because your ears are hindered doesn't mean that Sabalenka's doing anything wrong. Just because you're like, oh, my ears. Don't wear headphones. Love 15. Rule changes. If the rule changes, it'll be a joke, because how are we going to determine what is and isn't a hindrance? Like, if they change the rule to, like, you can't make noise hitting the ball, that's going to be a shit show. Because then your favorite player might make a noise out of nowhere one time, and then they lose the point. Come on, let's think a little logically here. Let's just think a little bit through this. Come on. You really, some people here are just really, really, what? You've got sensitive ears, turn down the volume. Don't watch those matches. Mute them. It's too loud. What are we doing? Put earmuffs on. Put earplugs in. My ears, what are you, 5? It's not that bad. If you don't like the noise when you go to see fireworks, what do? You either don't go, or you put on earmuffs or something. But this is even better, because you can't turn down fireworks. You can turn down the volume on the TV, though. What are we doing? All right, breakback points, 15-40. Anyways, Sabalenka, if she had to change the way that she hits the ball and makes the noise, the umpires would tell her so. And they don't, so she doesn't. So it's not a problem. It's your problem. It's not a problem for her, it's your problem. You gotta fix it. You gotta figure it out then. Or call the umpires and tell them. Don't tell them, you don't need to mention it to me, because I can't help you. De Minaur hits it out, 3-all. All right. I think the problem is not with the players, is with the audience. So wait, you're saying that Sabalenka is discouraging people from watching tennis by grunting, so therefore it's a problem. The audience is not. I mean, again, I think it's a you problem. The amount of people that are not watching Sabalenka because she makes noise is not in the millions, where it's taking money away from the broadcast. It's I don't think it's it's not as big as a problem as it is for you guys, or some of you guys, right? Some of you, it's this is the worst thing about the sport. But most people don't care. Most people tolerate it, or they don't give a shit. It's not going to deter them from watching Sabalenka play whoever, or watch Sabalenka matches in finals or slams. It's not like Sabalenka plays in front of 3 people because the crowd boycott her matches. This is crazy. 15 love. Bro bottled the break. Stop with your alliteration, all right? You're not smart. Just relax, all right, buddy? 30 love. And you don't need to say it about Demon. We already had enough. I'm sick of people talking shit about Demon. This is why we don't watch him, because I don't want to hear it. I'm going to buy earmuffs so I don't have to listen to you. All right, 30 love. I don't care. It's part of the game. Exactly. And I'm not going to be the person that makes it into a man versus woman thing, because I know a lot of people are like, well, Rafa doesn't grunt. Rafa doesn't get, he didn't get any, it's because Sabalenka's a woman. No. I there's a lot of players that have grunted over the time. I think Sabalenka and Azarenka are the ones that sort of, Azarenka, I can understand. Hers is a high-pitched squeal. Sabalenka's is just a grunt. Serena grunted. I don't remember anyone having a problem with that either. Rafa grunted. Nobody had a problem. David Ferrer made noises. Nobody had a problem. Like, I feel like we're just picking and choosing who we don't like, and we're making it a problem because this person we don't like. You might not like Sabalenka. That's why you're picking on her. Did you say the same about Serena 10 years ago? Did you say the same about Rafa 5 years ago? No, right? It's like, I don't like Sabalenka because she grunts. Like, a lot of players make noise. Alcaraz makes noise. I think people just pick and choose. If you don't like grunting, watch the tennis on mute. Because the crowd noise is probably louder than the grunt. And if you don't like noise, then probably don't watch sport. It's a bit loud. %, Cam. People talk about Sabalenka's grunt because they don't like her. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's 4-3, by the way. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the fact that Demon was winning and now he's losing. All right. 30 minutes played, 4-3. As Demon serves. Fault. Second serve. As Fritz gets the first point, love 15. Yeah, Isaac, I get that. But also, again, every time somebody's complaining about grunting from now on, yeah, this conversation is dragging on. We need to move on. I'm just going to be like, the umpire said it's fine, so it's fine. As with a 4 now from Fritz. Demon puts up a lob. And then Fritz too good at the net. Love for 30. Love 30. Serve again. Into the corner, Fritz. Backhand from De Minaur. Open court. Fritz is there with a slice, but it's in the net. 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. As a return from Fritz. Goes in the corner, Demon. Backhand from Fritz. The backhand of Demon. Slicing the corner, Fritz. Demon or backhand. Into the Fritz backhand. And Fritz in the net. 30-0. All right. Yeah, Morven, I hate the topic too. It is so annoying. Great serve down the tee from Demon, 40-30. Like, talking about somebody making noise while playing a sport and scrutinizing that is just as annoying as probably the noise itself. It's so silly. The only difference with tennis and every other sport is that, well, most sports, is that in tennis, you can hear everything, whereas in other sports, I'm sure other sports, basketball, football, when the crowd's yelling and screaming, I'm sure that somebody going for a dunk is making a noise. You just can't hear it. It's exerting yourself and hitting a ball and exerting yourself by making a noise is natural. Okay, somebody hitting a drop shot and grunting, yeah, that's a bit weird. But Sabalenka doesn't really do that if you watch her properly. Anyways, let's move on. This is annoying me. so we talk about this like every couple of months. Call the Umpires Association and deal with them. You don't like it? Call them. Love 15. I'm not the manager. Call the umpires. They're the managers. They manage the match. Call them. They're the managers, all right? You don't need to talk to me. I can't change the rules. I'm not the umpire. Love 15. Is it a backhand rally? Demon again to the backhand. Oh, Fritz slice from Demon. Again, the backhand of Fritz. As Demon backhand down the line. Fritz with a forehand cross court in the net. Fritz getting pissed off. Love 30. Fritz is making a few errors. Love 30. Love 30. As we get a fault second serve. As the backhand goes into the backhand of Demon, and Demon in the net, 15-30. This is a battle, yeah. It's a big battle. Remember, if Demon wins in straight sets, he keeps himself alive. He keeps himself in with a slim chance of making the semis. All right. As Fritz serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes to the backhand of Fritz. Backhand out from Demon. Into the forehand of Fritz. As Demon on forehand. Into the forehand of Fritz. Again, the forehand of Demon. To the backhand of Fritz. Demon on backhand. Goes down the line. The forehand of Fritz. The forehand of Demon. Fritz forehand again. To the backhand of Demon. As backhand from Fritz. Goes again. The backhand of Demon or Demon on net. 30 all. 30 all. Fritz serves a fault. Second serve. As a return goes out by Demon, 40-30. 40-30. As we get a fault. Second serve. As the return goes to the back of Fritz. Great shot down the line. Demon hits it wide. Fritz, 5-4. He gets back in front. Why are people saying Fritz is injured? Because at the end of the last match, or in the press conference after the Alcaraz match, he said that he had tendonitis in the knee. But he's not wearing any knee brace, so I'm going to say he's fine until otherwise. He mentioned that he had tendonitis, but he doesn't have any knee strapping, so I'm going to say that it's probably okay for now. So we don't need to take away from De Minaur for being a good tennis player. No chain today. I always wear this chain. Did Shelton mention anything about his knee? No, he seemed okay. I didn't hear anything. It did seem like Shelton, and I'll tell you this, chat, and I love Shelton, and I don't think this is a bad thing at all, because, hey, as long as it's within the rules, any way to win, win. I think And I love Ben Shelton. I love him if he did do this, it's a hell of a strategy. I think in the tiebreak, at first he hit his knee, and I think that was a shock. And he's like, oh shit, what have I done? But I reckon he was maybe playing a little bit of possum in that tiebreak. Because once the first point of the third set started, he was fine. I reckon, and look, I'm all for it. I love that. If he was trying to like trick FAA into thinking that he was more hurt than he actually was, so Felix, lets up and then Shelton ends up winning, good for you. Do it. I don't care. I don't think that's bad at all. I reckon he might have been maybe just like dragging his leg a little bit more than it. Maybe it was a little bit, especially after like 2 more points. I thought, even yesterday when we were watching, I didn't want to say it at the time, but I was looking going, I wonder if he's actually hurt. Or if he's like, it hurt. 2 points later, he's like, it's actually fine, but I'm going to limp anyway, just to kind of... Kyrgios used to do that all the time back in the early days, and it did trick players. I mean, I think there's a Bernard... Was it Tomic or Kyrgios who played Verdasco? And he was down 2 sets to love. He starts limping, and then Verdasco completely lost the plot, and he came back to win. I think it might have been Bernard Tomic who did that. And I'm like, that is so... Like, that's on the other player for letting them get back in. Like, that's too good. So I'm like... I don't think he did that, but it does make me think maybe he was limping a little bit more than it actually it didn't hurt as much as, initially probably did. Because then he came back to like 6-all, and I was like, maybe he's just kind of like trying to play these mind games with the Felix and be like, oh, yeah, my leg really hurts. Don't make me run. If he did that and it worked, genius. Genius. Big brain move. Because then the first point of the third, he was fine. He didn't look bad at all in the final set, Shelton. He looked fine. I don't know if he did that. But if he was like, maybe... Again, it's mind games. Nothing wrong with that. That's part of the game. Tennis is a mind game. 40-15. But yeah, so I think Shelton's okay. He would have mentioned something and we would have heard something, but... He looked fine in the final set. He was running around. He looked fine. Demon holds 5-all. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Yeah, but I mean, look, he was down 6-3. And I think initially when he did hit his leg or hit his knee, I think it did hurt. And maybe for a point or two after that, it probably did. He was probably worried about it. But I don't know. I feel like... I mean, that'd be cool. He would never admit it, and he lost the match anyway. So I don't think there's a need to bring it up anyway. But if there's nothing wrong with if you are, maybe trying to fool your opponent into thinking that you're a bit more hurt than you are, and then your opponent might give you a little bit of an easy point. Maybe they'll be a little bit nicer to you because they just think they think, oh well, I'm going to win now, right? All right. Love 15. Shelton should have been more strategic. To have taken him a strategic MTO now. All right. Forehand winner for Fritz, 15-all. All right, 15-all. As the return goes in the forehand of Fritz. Fritz hits it long, 15-30. Sinner's always limping around and winning. Yeah, I mean, look, there's probably a lot of players that play up injuries. But again, that's on the opposition to think like, that's why I'm always saying, if somebody's hurt, play the same as if they're not. I know it might be cruel if somebody's got a leg injury, but why the fuck would you make it... Why would you be nice to somebody? They're still playing. If they can't play, they should stop, right? Why would you let up? Because I know that like sometimes when someone's gonna like, remember when Dimmy like who was it? Like players in the past we've watched where somebody has clearly got an injury and the other person's playing as if they do. They don't. Well, that's how you play. As with a 4-4 rally, De Minaur in the net. Then it's 40-30. But like the opposite can happen too. Like the person who is hurt could try and trick the person who to thinking they're more hurt than they are. So then they give them, let up on, make it a little bit easier for them, right? Again, there are mind games. These mind games are true. They happen. If you think tennis is about forehand and backhands, you got to watch more tennis. There's more to tennis than forehands and serves. Backhand return, 40-30. Is it a backhand again from De Minaur? The backhand of Fritz, slice from Demon. Again, the backhand of Fritz. Demon slice again. Into the Fritz backhand as Demon slice again. It's a drop shot. Fritz is going to come to the net. Demon puts up a lob. Fritz with a smash. In the net. Oof. Deuce. All right, deuce. Well, Fritz just dropped his arm on that smash. As he went to hit the smash, he dropped his arm, and then when he hit the smash, it went down. Man, that was a bad miss. Tough smash, though. It was a high lob. As Fritz serves in the forehand of Demon. Forehand from Fritz. Again, the forehand of Demon is Fritz. Into the backhand of De Minaur. Fritz forehand again. As De Minaur backhand cross court. Fritz gets it, but hits in the net. Advantage Demon. Advantage De Minaur. To get the break and serve at the set. Remember, Demon has to win in straight sets to give himself a chance. Fritz serves an ace. All right, deuce. All right, we get a fault second serve. As a return from Demon goes in the net, advantage Fritz. Advantage Fritz. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Is it a backhand return now into the backhand of Fritz? Backhand now, forehand from Demon. No, Fritz hit it out. Back to deuce. If Demon loses this set, do you think he will try the next set? Of course, yes. Why? What are we doing? I feel like this has been such a silly, and I'm not saying just you, Tyler. I'm not picking on you, picking on everybody. Why are we assuming that just because you can't make the semis, you all of a sudden stop playing? Like the same thing with Shelton. Like, do you really think Shelton's not going to try against Sinner tomorrow? I think, not again, Tyler, I'm not talking to you because people think this is about Shelton tomorrow. Like, well, he can't make the semis, so what's the point? Ranking points, prize money, a win over somebody, like confidence win, even if it doesn't mean anything. Like, yeah, De Minaur winning in 3 sets might not make the semis, but it still means that he gets a win over Fritz, which into next year is going to be huge. So, yes, I think he will try, even if he can't make the semis. If it was an exhibition, he'd probably retire. And that's okay, because it's an exhibition, but it's not an exhibition. This is worth points, prize money, confidence in a win over a player that De Minaur might have to face next year in a slam, and if he's got the win, even if it is in 3, that's a confidence-boosting win. So, yes, he would definitely try in the second, even if he doesn't have a chance to win make the semis. All right. But, yeah, I feel like we've had that. People are like, oh, Bublik should play instead. No, that's not how it works. All right. By the way, thank you, Uwu girl, for the 10 gifted. Appreciate that. Thank you for gifting the 10 memberships. Appreciate that. So yeah, so if De Minaur does, sorry, if De Minaur wins in 3, sorry, if De Minaur doesn't win in straight sets, he can't get through. So basically, if De Minaur loses this set, he can't qualify. So he is out. But the other 3 guys, it's still up for grabs. By the way, the only way that Alcaraz cannot qualify is if Fritz wins and Musetti wins in straight sets. If De Minaur loses a set and Alcaraz wins a set, then it's between Fritz and Musetti. And the other 2 are one's in, one's out, right? So the math is pretty simple on that. But De Minaur has to win in straight sets. Don't jinx it. No, I have to tell. I can't. If I sit here and not speak and not give any information, then this is a useless waste of time for everybody. So I have to give out the information. It's not jinxing if I'm telling you what could happen. If I name every possibility, then something's going to happen. So I can't jinx it all. All right, 6-5. If I don't explain the situation because of a jinx, then this would be the worst stream of all time. Just going to sit here and start. So, don't ask me any questions. What happens if this happens? I can't say. I'm not allowed to say. Sorry, I can't tell you. I can't tell you. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Sorry, nah. Anyways, Demon, 15 love. He has to win this set, Demon. He has to win in straights. He cannot afford a set lost. He has to win in straights. And that's Fritz in the net on the return, 30 love. $30 love. I know you're just kidding, Laura. Some people don't kid, though. They actually believe in it. People believe I'm a wizard or a magician or something. I should grow a beard and wear a hat. 400 rally. As Fritz into the 400 Demon. Demon hits a long. And it's 30-15. All right, serve again. As that goes in there by Fritz, 40-15. All right, 40-15. As a backhand return for Fritz, the backhand of Demon. Fritz with a forehand. Into the forehand of Demon. Again, the forehand of Fritz. Demon or slice. Fritz with a volley. Demon was going to get it, though. Put it away. Okay, Demon hangs on. He's got to win the tiebreak, though. By the way, if De Minaur does win in straight sets, Fritz can't qualify. So Fritz needs to win a set here to stay. He can lose this match in 3, but he has to win a set. Otherwise, he's out. And it's between Musetti and De Minaur who goes through with Alcaraz. So this tiebreak is obviously more important for Alex, but Fritz kind of doesn't. He kind of needs to win a set, at least, in this match. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what happens in the next match, he's going home. Which would be kind of wild if Fritz didn't make the semis, considering how good he was against Alcaraz. Backhand rally. As Fritz backhand to the 400 Demon. 400 from Fritz is out. It's 1 love Demon. This is a very important tiebreak. 1-0 Demon. Now 1-0. As Demon serves a fault. Second serve. Serving the backhand of Fritz, backhand of De Minaur. Into the forehand of Fritz. Demon forehand into the backhand of Fritz, the backhand of Demon. Fritz backhand on the stretch. De Minaur forehand. Winner! Back behind Fritz. All right. 2-love. 2-0 Demon. All right. 2-0. Maybe one of the most important tiebreaks of the year. Yeah. As we got a backhand from Fritz in the net. 3-love Demon. Okay. 3-0. It's only one mini break though, but 3-0 Demon. All right, serve again. Three zero. As the return goes to forehand of Fritz, forehand from De Minaur. Into the forehand of Fritz, De Minaur forehand in the net. 3-1. Right. As we return now to the forehand of Fritz. De Minaur backhand again, the forehand of Fritz. De Minaur forehand again to the slice of Fritz. De Minaur forehand. Again to the forehand of Fritz. Passing shot is wide. Oh, that was a bad miss by Fritz. De Minaur, that was not a good approach. That was not a good approach by Demon. I'll show you what happened here, chat. So De Minaur was running into the net. He hit the approach. He was about here. And Fritz was here, right? De Minaur kind of hit the approach here. Fritz walked across. And De Minaur sort of was here by the time he made the net. This whole part of the court was open. And Fritz shanked it wide. Like, there was a massive opening for Fritz to hit an easy pass. Like, it should have been an easy pass. As De Minaur puts away the smash, it's 5-1. And we would have been back on serve, right? It would have been what? It would have been only 1 mini break still. But De Minaur hit a shocking approach. It was super easy, and Fritz went, bleh. That was a bad miss. And it was a bad approach by Demon too. I mean, he got very lucky. He was very lucky that Fritz shanked that. Because that should have been an easy winner for Fritz. Should have been a passing shot winner. Smart from De Minaur? No, it wasn't. It was terrible from Demon. Like, Fritz should have made him pay, but Fritz shanked it. All right, Demon 5-1. And now it's a big error that caused another break of serve. So, horrible miss by Fritz, and it might cost him the tiebreak. As De Minaur forehand cross-court winner, 6-1 Demon. 6-1 De Minaur. Five set points for Demon to take the first. All right, return goes in the forehand of Fritz. De Minaur puts up a lob. It's going to go in. And a bounce smash from Fritz. De Minaur slice. Fritz comes into the forehand. De Minaur with a pass in the net. Oh, Fritz survives. 6-3. 6-3. Sorry, 6-2. 6-2. As the return from Demon goes out, 6-3. 6-3. 6-3. De Minaur set point on his serve now. Serve again. Down the tee, the forehand of Fritz. Fritz in the net. Demon is still alive in these finals. And Fritz is now in big trouble and missing the semis, which is crazy because 2 days ago, he was almost into the semis by beating Alcaraz. I mean, it was almost, he's one set away from being out, Fritz. And De Minaur is one set away from keeping the semi-final dream alive. Terrible set by Fritz, by the way. 10 winners and 19 errors from Fritz. 11 on the forehand, 7 on the backhand. De Minaur, 13 winners and 18 errors. He's trying to be a little bit more aggressive. 10 backhand errors from Demon, but Fritz's game, 19 errors. That is not what he needs to change that. He needs to fix that. All right. Yeah, this next set is huge because if Fritz wins it, De Minaur's out. If De Minaur wins it, Fritz is out. So one of these players, one of these guys are going to be eliminated after this set. Huge set coming up. All right. De Minaur, Musetti conspired against Fritz. I don't think so, but... All right. Here we go. So basically now, chat, there's only one way that Alcaraz doesn't qualify. So after that set, Alcaraz... There's only one... So we had 16 different scenarios before this match. Now we only have 12. And one of those, 11 out of 12, Alcaraz qualifies. Only one of those he doesn't, and that's if Fritz wins in 3. So if Fritz comes back to win in 3, there's still a chance that Fritz and Musetti make it to the semis together and kick out Alcaraz. But Alcaraz is pretty much in the semis. He's only got to... Fritz is going to have to win this like 1-1, and then Musetti's going to have to win in straights pretty simply as well. But Alcaraz, Musetti had to win in straights anyway. If Alcaraz gets a set later, he gets in anyway. But yeah. But De Minaur, there's a chance that he could get into the semis. He's got to win this in straights, and then it'll come down to Alcaraz beating Musetti. In fact, apparently, if Alcaraz beats Musetti, doesn't matter if it's in straight sets or what, or 3, De Minaur goes through. So if Demon wins this set and Alcaraz wins, De Minaur's in. It's not even like there's no like straight sets, 3 sets. It's simple. So De Minaur in straight sets here would put him in a very good position unless Musetti beats Alcaraz. And who the hell thought that's what, like 2 days ago, we're all thinking, well, De Minaur had a good run. He nearly got a win. He might make the semis. Like, what? He might make the semis despite losing in a devastating match to Musetti. He still might make the semis if he wins this set. Because then it just forces Musetti to do something miraculous. That'd be wild. It would be crazy. Especially considering 2 days ago, Musetti breaking Demon's heart, but then Fritz almost beating Alcaraz. Nobody would have thought Demon's going to make the semis. And he's 6 games away from putting himself in a very good position and forcing Musetti to do the impossible. Great winner there from Demon. Remember, chat, Demon's never won a match at the ATP Finals. In fact, the last time an Australian won a match at the ATP Finals was Leighton Hewitt back in 2004, where he made the final, lost to Federer. He beat Roddick in Houston. That was the last time an Australian won. And I remember that match. I don't remember watching it live because I couldn't watch it. But I've watched those highlights so many times. Leighton was so fired up because Houston, Texas, I think, isn't Andy Roddick's from Austin, Texas, right? So it was like Roddick's backyard. Go watch it. You can find highlights of it. Hewitt versus Roddick, 2004 semifinals, ATP Finals. Great match. That was the last time an Aussie won at the ATP Finals. And after the heartbreak of what happened for Demon against Musetti, imagine he wins this match, makes the semis. 48 hours later, from heartbreak to the greatest thing ever, right? Return goes out by Fritz and it's 40-30. Now he'll have to play Sinner if he does that. But to be honest, if he wins this match and he has to play Sinner, I don't give a shit. He could lose love and love. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care if he loses to Sinner. If he makes the semis, I couldn't care. We'll take that L, but he makes it to the semi. Let's go. Anyway, it's 40-30. He has to win this set, though, Demon. Is it a 4-1 rally? Backing out from Fritz. De Minaur with a volley. Winner. 1-love. And again, on the other side, I mean, how many people thought that Fritz wasn't going to make the semis after the Alcaraz match? After the Alcaraz match, we're like, oh, wow. That was close. Maybe he'll get another shot in the final if he makes it. Fritz might not get another chance to play. This might be Fritz's last match of the year. No, I didn't think that. That's crazy to me. All right. Here we go. Here we go. By the way, Dutchy, what did you send me? I've already got this. Why are you sending me? Why are they saying 8 scenarios? There's 12 left. All right. Love 15. As we're backing up from Fritz in the net, love 30. I saw it was updated, so okay. No, that's right. It's fine. I didn't know what I don't know what you're sending me. Why is there only 10 scenarios? I don't know what they're talking about. How does Anyways, I'm going to stick with my list because it's a little bit simple. I don't want to... That's too much reading. That's too many words. All right. Fritz, love 40. Fritz, he might know that he has to win a set to stay alive. I'm sure these players know the maths. Maths? The maps? Love 40, Demon to get the break. As Fritz serves a fault second serve. By the way, if you're going for Musetti, De Minaur winning is good. But Musetti still has to beat Alcaraz. Backhand rally. As we're backhand again from Fritz in the backhand of Demon. Into the forehand of Fritz. Slicing the net. Demon breaks. And if you're going for Alcaraz, you want De Minaur to win because that means Alcaraz makes the semis. No matter what. If you're going for Fritz, he needs to win this set. He has to win this set, Fritz. He's got to know it, right? He looks too annoyed by the way he's playing to not know that he has to win a set to qualify. Minimum. I hope he doesn't know, but I think he does know. I think he knows. All right, 2-love. Demon definitely knows because it's extra motivation. He would want to know, like, what? I got to win straight sets? Let's do it. Lock in. But if I'm Fritz, I'm sure they would have said, like, hey, if you win a set, you're in. Or, like, you just got to win a set. But he's not winning a set right now. 15-love. Demon was won 18 of the last 24 points. What? 15-love. Great serve, Demon. And he comes in with a forehand off the tape, and he gets lucky. 30-love. 30-love. If De Minaur wins, Musetti still has to win. He has to win Musetti to get through. But if Fritz does win, it means that Musetti has to win in straight sets. So this means that if De Minaur does get the straight sets win, it'll mean that Musetti doesn't have to win in straights. He has to win, right? 2 or 3, doesn't matter. It just limits the options if Fritz does get the set here. It means Musetti has to do a lot more against Alcaraz. Like, Musetti could beat Alcaraz in 3. Like, that's more... There's obviously a better chance of that happening than straight sets, right? Musetti winning in straight sets is like... That's not going to happen. But he could win in 3. Again, could. Like, very unlikely, but he could. But yeah, so he's going for Demon for sure. Because, if he doesn't have to win in straights and he just has to win, that's a lot less pressure. 4-4 rally. That's Fritz down the line. Into the back of the Demon or back of Fritz. Into the forehand of Demon. That's Fritz forehand again, the forehand of Demon. Into the forehand slice of Fritz. Demon or backhand. Fritz gets it with a backhand and Demon or with a volley. Oh, what a shot! 40-15. Demon or with just a lovely little drop volley winner. All right. 40-15. Demon serves a fault, second serve. Serving to the corner. Fritz, return the net. Wow, Fritz is playing so bad. He has gone totally off here, Fritz. 3-love Demon in the second. Chat, you know what would be, and Fritz fans are going to be, sad, but how nice would it be for Demon if you watched his press conference the other day when he lost to Musetti and he was just like kicking the guts, right? So like he was so devastated. To then 48 hours later qualifying for the semis, such an unlikely situation. Like that would be such a great redemption, almost, or like such a great turnaround to go from like total devastation where he probably felt like, well, I'm out of these finals, right? Because if he beats Musetti, this match is the deciding match. Whoever wins this goes through. Like, that's how close De Minaur was to, if he beats Musetti, he then qualifies by beating Fritz. And that's simple, right? But, like, for him to go down 0-2, heartbreaking loss, and then beat Fritz and then get in the semis anyway, incredible. Especially considering how sad he was in the press conference. And how devastating he was, Or devastated he was. That would be such a crazy turnaround. All right. Cam, you seem very happy. I am. 3-love. Because if you watched this stream 2 days ago, you would see how sad I was when De Minaur lost and how devastating a loss that was for me as well. It was the worst, maybe my least favorite stream of the year. That was my worst. Like I was. Even if Demon doesn't make the semis, if he just wins this match and finishes the year off with a win, I'm fine with that. He doesn't have to make the semis for me to feel feel good. That loss to Musetti was so devastating. Now 15-0. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz hits it out. 15-30. 15-30. As a return from Demon, just missed. 30-0. Where's Mia's bed? She's over here. She's over this side. 30 all. All right, first serve is a fault. Second serve. As Demon in the net on the return. 40-30. 40-30. As a return from De Minaur goes long. All right. 3-1. Is Fritz injured? No. $15 love. All right, 15 love. Cam's happiness, though well-deserved, seems suspicious. Yeah, it's suspicious because I control the way this match is going. I knew the result because I fixed it somehow with my magician powers. I am somehow making this in favor of De Minaur by waving my wands and magic. It's all, I'm a wizard. 15-all. As De Minaur serves. Cam's off. Yeah, Cam's off. That's it. So stupid. De Minaur with a slice. Fritz gets it back with a slice. Then De Minaur deep into the forehand of Fritz. Fritz hits it out. 30-15. All right. All right, 40-15. Is he injured or not? No, but it doesn't matter. 4-1. So, okay. Fritz is fine. But if Fritz was injured, he's still losing. Does it matter? No, because it's not. He's going to lose. If De Minaur wins, Fritz is injured, Fritz is not. Who cares? He doesn't get free points because he was he was compromised. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's not injured, but if he was injured, doesn't matter. How does that matter? Unless you got a bet on, you're like, oh, he should retire so I can get my money back. Okay, that matters to you. De Minaur 4-1. If De Minaur wins in straights and Fritz is injured or fine or tired or not, or who cares? Doesn't matter. De Minaur wins. And then the next match is, even though we think that it's going to be straightforward, the only thing that's straightforward is that Alcaraz is in. By the way, I wonder if Alcaraz, knowing that he's already into the semis, if the next match, because sometimes he does get a little bit a little bit crazy in matches, right? Not crazy, but he sometimes, he sometimes lets the foot off the gas and plays a little easy, right? When he knowing that he's into the semis, Alcaraz, because he will be in the semis if De Minaur wins in straights. I wonder if that gives Musetti a better chance, because he might be playing against an Alcaraz who doesn't need to win. You know what I mean? He'll obviously want to win 3-0, but Alcaraz doesn't need to win. So that could be interesting. By the way, I don't mind that they do the NBA style getting out of the car and following the players into the locker room. I kind of like that. Alcaraz, by the way, looking like he's straight out of 2002. It's kind of cool. I wish they'd show it on TV, but, you know. All right, backhand rally. De Minaur 4-1. He has to win in straight sets to stay alive as we got a forehand for Fritz. That goes in the back of the Demon. Fritz, backhand. Into the forehand of Demon on the stretch. Fritz backhand again. De Minaur's got it. That's Fritz with a forehand. Into the slice of Demon, but Demon hits a wide. 15 love. By the way, if you're a Jannik Sinner fan, you're loving this for sure, because this means that you're probably going to play De Minaur. You're likely to play De Minaur. Yeah, you're likely to play De Minaur. Actually, it's funny because Musetti has to win. Oh, interesting. Actually, you are going for Demon, maybe. No, actually, you're probably going for Fritz. Because if De Minaur wins in straights, Alcaraz could be second in the group if Musetti wins. And that means that Sinner would play Alcaraz. All right, 30-15. So if you're Jannik Sinner and Demon wins in straight, you're either playing you can't play Musetti. You're either going to play De Minaur or Alcaraz depending on the next result. There was only one way you play Musetti, and that's if Fritz comes back and wins this match, and Musetti wins in straights. That's the only way you're going to play Musetti. But out of Alcaraz, Fritz, and De Minaur, Sinner would rather play Demon, obviously, right? Head to head speaks to that, right? All right, Fritz holds 4-2. They play for world number one in the semis. Yeah, if Musetti beats Alcaraz, yeah. Yeah, and if you are Musetti, you're obviously going for Demon because that gives him the best chance. It puts it in Musetti's hands. He just has to win then. All right, first serve's a fault, second serve. As the return goes to the forehand of Demon. Backhand for Fritz. Into the backhand of Demon or Fritz forehand. Again to the backhand of Demon. Demon hits it out, love 15. I tell you, if Fritz wants to make the semis, now is the time to start playing tennis. It doesn't matter who he's playing, Sinner's winning it all. It does kind of matter because he doesn't beat Alcaraz. So it does matter. All right, love 15. Great serve, Demon, 15-0. The Saudi 1000 is scheduled or is predicted for 2027. Maybe 2028. So no, not next year. All right, backhand to backhand rally. Slice from Fritz. De Minaur comes to the net. Fritz the pass. De Minaur volley. Fritz with a lob. Or goes in. Demon hits a forehand long. 15-30. Imagine the crowd tonight if De Minaur wins. Yeah. If they know, I mean, if the crowd know. So if Fritz did come back to win, then either way, Musetti has to win. But it just means that Musetti has to win in straight sets tonight if Fritz wins from now. So it means that Musetti has to do a lot more work. Whereas if De Minaur wins this set, it's really simple. Musetti wins against Alcaraz, he's into the semis. It's simple. He actually tops the group, Musetti, if he wins tonight, which is crazy to think that too, right? I mean, thinking that Fritz and like yesterday, 2 days ago, we thought, well, it's going to be Alcaraz and Fritz making the semis. Alcaraz 1, Fritz 2, but we could get Musetti and Alcaraz making it with Musetti number 1. Like, what? And then it would be a Sinner semi. Like that could happen. I mean, this group is so crazy. Whereas the other group is so easy. It's like, well, Sinner's number 1, and then it's between FAA and Zverev, and then Shelton's out. Like, it's so simple over there. But this group, it's like, there's Fritz in the net, 40-30. I mean, De Minaur's 5 points away from keeping himself alive. 40-30. Demon for a 5-2 lead. Serve out wide. Musetti Fritz gets it back. De Minaur with a volley, 5-2. Mind it, guys, if this goes 3, Demon loses. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because you also said in the first set, who cares? Because Fritz is going to win anyway. Fritz in 3, guys, don't worry. So, nobody cares. You've been timed out 29 times. You said, Demon can't play 3 sets. I believe it's Fritz in 3. It's okay to be wrong. 5-2. 5-2. 29 times is wild. 5-2. De Minaur's 1 game away from keeping this alive. Don't take away my happiness, is what I'm trying to get to you. We are pro De Minaur in this stream. You need to leave. And come back another day. By the way, chat, speaking of leaving, make sure you check out and claim your collectible for the day if you haven't already. We're working with Trace. So jump over there. Sign up if you haven't already. If you have signed up, make sure this is your reminder to go and collect. Go and claim your collectible. All you got to do is pick who you're going for today. Doesn't have to be right. Just pick who you're going for. Nice tan cam. I haven't been outside, so I don't know what you're talking about. But thank you. I definitely don't have a tan. Okay. De Minaur is 1 game away from staying alive in this tournament. But not only that, for Australian tennis and chat, if you don't know, I'm Australian. I live in Melbourne, born and bred. I am from Australia. If De Minaur wins this, he is the first player to win a match at the ATP Finals in 21 years. Leighton Hewitt was the last guy to do it. He would break that drought, but also he could be the first player since Leighton to make the semis if things go his way tonight. Fritz is serving to stay in, not just in the tournament match, but in the tournament, because if Fritz loses in straights, he's out. And who the hell thought that 48 hours ago? That Fritz was not going to make the semis after he lost to Alcaraz. I mean, what? Huh? First serve is a fault. Second serve. History in the making, that's it. As the backhand return goes in the backhand of Fritz, De Minaur forehand. Into the forehand of Fritz. There's De Minaur forehand again. Fritz again to the forehand of Demon. Demon in the net, 30 love. 30 love. You sent me a crazy stat. What's that? Yeah, but Gene, it won't matter because we don't need to go to games. It'll go to sets. Games won't matter. All right, 30 love. Fritz is out if he doesn't win a set. As the return goes into the forehand of Fritz, Fritz hits a long. 30-15. Yeah, I don't think it will go down to games because remember, so we went through this earlier. If Fritz and De Minaur are 1 win, 2 losses, then, and so is Musetti, then it goes to sets. If they're equal on sets, then it goes to head-to-head. And because De Minaur is going to beat Fritz, or it could beat Fritz, then it wouldn't matter. Games are only when it's all even. And that wouldn't matter. All right, 4 in the net from Fritz, 30 all. Who's spamming? Oh, piss off. Nobody wants you to be here spamming, brother. Yeah. No, but you're right, though. That would be crazy, though, if, like, Fritz had a better game percentage, but still didn't make it. All right, 2 points away, Demon. As Fritz serves, a fault. Chad, if the other day was one of the worst streams of the year emotionally, this might be one of the best for me so far. Return into the forehand of Fritz, backhand at Demon, into the backhand of Fritz, Demon or backhand, into the backhand of Fritz as Demon with a forehand, again the backhand of Fritz. Can we not do this court level camera? It's crazy. This court level camera sucks. Forehand goes down the line, backhand for Fritz, Demon or gets it. Fritz backhand again. Can we get to a higher level of camera, please? Forehand again for Fritz as Demon or backhand on the stretch. Fritz backhand down the middle. Demon or forehand into the backhand of Fritz. Lob goes up. Demon with a bounce smash. Match point, Demon! To knock Fritz out and keep himself alive. 30-40. Court level camera rocks. No, it doesn't. You can't see where Fritz is hitting the ball. I can't see shit. It's terrible. Get rid of it. 30-40. Match point, Demon. Serve. Into the backhand of Demon. Backhand at Fritz. The backhand of Demon. It's Fritz with a forehand cross court. Demon's got it. Down the line. Fritz with a pass. Demon with a volley. Fritz with a lob. Oh, it's going in. Demon smash. Fritz gets it back. As Demon forehand. Cross court. Fritz with a pass again. Demon volley again. But Fritz has got it with a backhand. And he puts it away. Fritz survives. What a way to save match point. Deuce. How did Fritz win that point? How did he win that point? What a point. Demon tried everything to win that point too. Yeah. Fritz hangs on. All right, serve. Into the forehand of Demon. Volley from Fritz from the baseline. Okay, Demon forehand to the backhand of Fritz. Into the slice of Demonor. Fritz, forehand. Demonor gets it. Into the forehand of Fritz. Demonor, forehand slice. Into the backhand of Fritz. Demonor back in the rally. Slices it again. Fritz backhand down the line. Demon gets it with a forehand cross court and Fritz with a slice. Oh, hit the tape and went in for a drop shot. Fritz survives. Demonor's like, what the hell are you doing? Advantage Fritz. Fritz played 2 of the craziest points. Advantage Fritz. Court level camera is useless. I don't know why people like it. Why do you like it? It's terrible. You can't see how far the ball is on the baseline the other end. You can't see the depth of shot. It's terrible. Like, court level camera brings nothing. Besides, like, oh, you get to see, like, what the player's perspective is. Go to the tennis and watch it live. You can watch a normal match live. You don't have to watch the pros play. It's horrible. Court level camera brings no benefit. Forehand backhand rally. Besides, like, maybe an appreciation for how hard they hit it. Maybe. Demon in the net. Fritz survives. Match point save. Demon's going to serve for this. Come on now. Not again. Don't do this to me twice. Come on now. Come on now. 5-3. Demonor serving to make put himself in possibly in the semis, depending on the night match. Come on, redemption, Demon, redemption. You serve for the match against Musetti. Come on, you can do it now. Redemption, redemption. Hopefully a flop. Hopefully you're wrong, and hopefully I can laugh at your face because how dare you? We're pro Demon here, right? All right, first serve default, second serve. Serve in the backhand of Fritz. Return goes in the backhand of Demon or Fritz. Backhand again, the backhand of Demon. Into the forehand of Fritz. Demon or forehand. Down the line. Fritz backhand again, the forehand of Demon. Who hits it wide. Love 15. Remember, Demon has to win in straight sets. to keep himself alive in this tournament. And Fritz has to win this. It's 3 to stay alive as well. If he loses in straights, he's out. Sorry, Demon is out. Apology not accepted. Love 15. Serving to the forehand of Fritz. Forehand from Demon. Into the forehand of Fritz. It's De Minaur on the stretch. Fritz is going after it. Puts it away. Love 30. Love 30. It's all right. We've got plenty. Remember, Fritz has to win this set. De Minaur just has to win this set. Doesn't matter how. He just has to win this set. Mods ban everybody. Love 30. Nuke the chat. Love 30. Serve is an ace from Demon. 15-30. 15-30. As De Minaur serves again. Into the backhand of Fritz. Serve and volley, Demon. Fritz with a backhand lob. De Minaur with a smash. Fritz gets it. De Minaur with a drop volley. Fritz is going to get there with a slice. And then De Minaur slice down the line. Fritz with a lob. De Minaur smash. Puts it away. 30 all. Oh, why is he playing these points? 30 all. Why does he have to do it like this? Great defense by Fritz, by the way. 30 all. Come on, just 2 big serves. 2 of the biggest serves of your life. Great smash from Demon in the second time. Demon serves. Ace out wide. Let's go. Yes. One more. 40-30. Serve but Demon. Oh, come on. To break the 21-year drought of Australians at the ATP Finals, not winning. Serve. Down the tee. Return to the net. Yes. Demon stays alive. And he knocks Fritz out. Fritz is out. He's out. Fritz is out. Fritz is out. De Minaur redemption after the devastating loss to Musetti. Oh, man. After the last match, I was going to stop watching. We won't watch Aussies anyway, but I was never going to watch even this match. I didn't want to watch it. But Demon somehow could still make the semis. He just needs Alcaraz to win. If Alcaraz beats Musetti, De Minaur is into the semis with Alcaraz. What? Which, again, first time since Leighton Hewitt in 2004 did it. De Minaur may survive. By the way, first top 10 win in I don't know how many matches. He lost 18 matches. What was it, 15 in a row to top 10 guys? He breaks that streak. I'll tell you, that Fritz match yesterday, or the other day against Alcaraz, Fritz played 2 bad games, right? It was so unlucky. Alcaraz was obviously just too good. But then to go from winning that nearly winning that match to then losing this and then being out is cruel. Fritz should be in the semis. It sucks for him big time, but Fritz has had a great year, and that was the last match of the year for him. So Alcaraz is in. Alcaraz qualifies. Alcaraz is into the semis, but where will he fall is the question, because if Musetti wins, then Alcaraz plays Sinner. If De Minaur wins, then De Minaur plays Sinner. So that's as simple as it gets tonight. So Musetti wins, it's going to be Sinner versus Musetti in the semis. Sorry, Sinner versus Alcaraz. If Alcaraz wins, he avoids Sinner until the final, at least until the final. So if you're a Sinner fan, you're probably going for Alcaraz, right? So then you avoid him until the final. But yeah, so Alcaraz into the semis. He is locked, but we just don't know whether he's going to be 1 or 2. Because it's up to Musetti. By the way, Musetti now only has to win in the match. He doesn't have to win in straight sets. He just has to win in 3 or, in straights, whatever. So yeah. But De Minaur could qualify. And I think De Minaur likely to qualify is more likely to qualify. Because if, Alcaraz beating Musetti is more likely to happen, right? So De Minaur making the semis. I mean, De Minaur making the semis after the other day, chat, the worst day in my worst stream of the year, personally, and this might be the best day of the year. If he qualifies, that is insane. Also, I don't know who the last player who won one match to qualify is, because that never happens. Somebody winning one match and then making the semis never happens. So the likelihood of that, it's very unlikely that's happened. Yeah, Fritz is out. Fritz had to win a set to stay alive. There you go. Yeah, De Minaur will qualify if Carlos wins. 2 sets, 3 sets, doesn't matter. If Carlos wins, De Minaur goes through with Alcaraz. Man. Crazy, I know, right? This is why I love tennis. Yeah. Crazy. Worst day and the best day in the same tournament. Yeah. I don't care if Alcaraz plays Sinner and loses in 6-love, 6-love. If he loses to De Minaur, if De Minaur plays Sinner and loses 6-love, I don't care if De Minaur loses in the semis. If De Minaur makes the semis, 2 days ago, De Minaur was just thinking about life and what, staring into the abyss. And now he is legitimately a chance of making the semis of the ATP Finals. 2 days ago. 2 days ago, he was staring into the void. Why did it say Jannik doesn't beat Alcaraz? He did at Wimbledon. Okay. You're focusing on the wrong thing. We're talking about De Minaur here, right? Nobody cares about Sinner versus Alcaraz, right? That's boring. It's a De Minaur stream, all right? We're talking about De Minaur. Alcaraz lost 75% of his matches indoors and night sessions. Really? Where'd you find that from? Where's that stat? Cam's excited about this win, that he will not be able to sleep tonight. Well, I'm not sleeping, so that's good. I'm so happy for Demon. Especially after the other day. You saw it. If you were here at the end of the Musetti match, when I went offline, I just sat here like this, right? I was just as devastated as Demon was, because it was just fuck, so close again, but just can't get that win. It was devastating for fans and for Demon alike. And now he could make the semis. So good. And look, for the tournament's sake, it kind of sucks that Fritz won't get to play Sinner or Alcaraz again, because Fritz was good against, he's been the best player outside of Sinner and Alcaraz, right? Before today. But as a Demon fan, I'm so happy he's got a chance to make the semis. Yeah, Fritz, I don't know. Maybe Fritz knew that he only had to win a set, and maybe that's why he knew what he had to do, but it got to him. And it may be, I don't know. Fritz wasn't injured, though. So I don't know what, if Fritz just, he knew that I have to win a set and that put too much pressure on himself. I don't know. Glad Dean was able to close out the match. Yeah, that was, from love 30 down as well. Especially after, not being able to close the match out against Musetti. That was redemption. Even if he doesn't make the semis, that's redemption. Oh, man, I'm so happy for Demon. So good. And he's got a winning record against Fritz too, 6-5. They hadn't played all year. So, I love that for Demon. So good. Yeah, we're going to watch Alcaraz versus Musetti, of course. We're watching every match of the ATP Finals. Let's go. Let's go. 1 year Sampras went one win, not only to win semis, but the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't think De Minaur's going to win the whole thing, but that's a little optimistic. But I'll tell you, we'll take the semi. We'll take we'll take a win. I don't care if he doesn't even make the semis. De Minaur winning a match here for Australian tennis is massive because, like I said, 21 years. An Australian hasn't won a match at the ATP Finals since Leighton. In fact, we hadn't had somebody make the final since De Minaur last year, and he went 0-3. So De Minaur winning is just great for Australian tennis with the first place since Leighton. Let me have a look if anybody recently has gone through with one win. Because De Minaur might be the first player for a long time that wins one match and gets through. Because everybody else has won 2 or 3 matches over the last few years. All right, so I'm back to 2020. Nothing. Okay, 19. No, 18. No. So, no, nothing. Where else? So the last player to get through the semis, winning one match in the group stage, was Nishikori back in 2016. He won. It was Murray, Wawrinka, Nishikori, Cilic. Crazy lineup. And Nishikori beat Wawrinka, and he lost the other 2 matches in 3 sets, and that's what got him through. So he had a better set percentage, win and loss, because he lost in 3 and won in straights.
Last to make semis with one win was 2016 Nishikori.
Yes. Thank you for the $2. I just got there before you. But thank you for the $2, Ron. Appreciate that. Yes. As Ron said, it was Nishikori. And then Nishikori got to the semis and lost 6-1, 6-1 to Djokovic. So it wasn't great when he made the semis, but he was the last player to do it in 2016. Before that, let me check. Because it rarely happens, right? It's such a rare thing that somebody can lose 2 out of 3 and still make the semis. So I'm back to 2010. So only once in the last sort of 15 years, I want to know who the last player to win the tournament with one win in the group stage was. So back in 2006, now Bandian won one match and lost 2 and ended up getting through. He was there with Federer, Roddick, and Ljubicic, and then Bandian lost 4-1 to Blake, who also was he won 2 matches that tournament, Blake. But yeah, so now Bandian 2006, he was 1-2. And then 2000 back to the so twice in the last 20 years that it's happened. Let me have a look. Going back here, I'm back to 2000s now. Nothing. Back in the 90s. Yeah, back in the 90s, nothing yet. 96. Nothing. Yeah, so in the last 30 years, only 2 players have made the semis by winning one match. All right, 92. Yeah, I'm back in like the early 90s. 1990. So yeah, in basically the last 35 years, it's been 2 players have done it. But they lost in the semis. Nobody has won one match in the group stage and then made the final. Recently. It's been a long, long time. Again, I'm way back. Where did this person say Sampras? Totally not right at all. Sampras didn't win one match and win the whole tournament. So yeah, only 2 players in the current format have won one match and made the semis. So De Minaur could be the 3rd. There's an opportunity for De Minaur to be the 3rd. Obviously, on the women's side, it has happened. I think Radvanska or Cibulkova did it. Both of them did it, right? But yeah, on the men's side, in the round robin format over the last 40 years, only 2 players have won one match and made the semis. Now, Bandian and Nishikori. So De Minaur, if Alcaraz wins tonight, he'll be the 3rd. And I love that. I love history. I love records like that. And I love De Minaur and I love Australia. All right. Do you think Musetti will win a set? It doesn't matter. Because if Musetti wins a set and loses, nothing changes. It's simple. Alcaraz wins, De Minaur through. Musetti wins, Musetti through. Alcaraz is already in. So it doesn't matter if Musetti wins a set. He has to win the match. The math is simple. Yeah, Alcaraz wins, De Minaur, Alcaraz through. Musetti wins, Alcaraz, Musetti through. That's it. And if Alcaraz wins tonight, he's year-end number 1. So that's also like bonus prize. Yeah, Musetti has to win or he's out. Exactly. Musetti wins, Musetti's through. You like Fritz pre-match though? So? And? Why am I so happy that De Minaur won? I don't even care about ATP. Because you care about the streams, and if De Minaur wins, that's good for it brings up the morale of the stream. My morale is high. Do you think Musetti is capable to step in? I don't think Musetti's going to beat Alcaraz, no. FAA versus Zverev, second spot up for grabs tomorrow. Yep, that's tomorrow, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. Alcaraz loses. He faces Sinner in the semis as well. Exactly. So, like, Alcaraz has got a lot on the line. World number 1, but also, look, he's obviously got a good record against Sinner, but, yeah, avoiding Sinner as well. So, Alcaraz has got a lot to play for tonight, even if he is already in the semis. He wrote finally on the camera, yeah. De Minaur knew that he lost so many matches against top 10 guys. He knew the score. He knew the score. But Fritz is the only guy, I think, in the top 10 that he hadn't played this year. And he's the guy that probably has the best record against top 10. If I look at De Minaur versus top 10, I think De Minaur against top 10 guys, obviously it's not been good, but I think Fritz is probably the one that he has the best record against. Him and Musetti, I think it's 4-2 Musetti. Obviously, bad records against, he did beat Zverev. So I don't know why people aren't remembering that. But he did beat Zverev at the Laver Cup. But outside of Laver Cup, he hadn't won a match against a top 10 guy in ATP competition, if you don't count Laver Cup. Can you please answer my question? There's a lot of people asking questions. We need De Minaur to win the Australian Open in straight sets to maximize Cam good attitude. No, we don't. De Minaur doesn't have to win the Australian Open for anything. It's fine. I don't need De Minaur to win the Australian Open. Demon is equal world number 5 now. Yeah, the live rankings are crazy. So De Minaur is currently number 6 because Fritz is number 5. I think it's because Fritz has played less tournaments. So I think the rule is if 2 players are on the same ranking, if they're on the same the same point score, it goes down to ATP 1000s and Grand Slams. So whoever's got more points from the ATP 1000s and the Grand Slams is going to be higher ranked. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. So they might be both on the same score. De Minaur's not number 5. He's number 6 though, because Fritz has been better at slams and 1000s. I think that's how it works, right? It's not a career high. No. He's not number 5. No. I know we're all getting excited, but he's not. He's number 6. There's no equal number 5. You can't be both number 5. Yeah, so again, I think I'm pretty sure we did this last year because a couple of times there was like players on the same score. So if 2 players are on the same points, it goes down to who won more points at the big tournaments, being the Grand Slams and the 1000s. And Fritz by far has won more points, right? At Grand Slams, he's made semifinals, whereas De Minaur hasn't. And then at the 1000s, Fritz also has done better than De Minaur, right? Is that how? Yeah, Gene. Is that how it works? Yeah. But if he qualifies for the semi, he'll be number 5. No, no, because you don't get points for being in the semis. You get points. I think you only get points if you win the semi. I don't think you get points for being in the semi-final. But you could. I mean, maybe you do. Hang on, let me check. I think you get points for being in. You should get points for being in the semi, right? Let me have a look. If he makes the semis, then maybe, yeah. So what are the points? Where are the points? No, so if you win, okay, so you don't get points for losing the semi-final. You get 400 points for winning the semi-final. You don't get it. You get 0 points for losing. So you gotta win the semi-final. Yeah, points are only for wins. Yeah. So if you win a round robin match, group stage, 200 points. If you lose in the semis, you get 0. So yeah, De Minaur has to win the semifinals to be number 5. That same goes for prize money. You don't get the prize money for the semis unless you win. But anyways, either way, De Minaur is the only way he doesn't finish number 6 is if Felix or Musetti win tonight, or Shelton win tomorrow. So there's still a possibility that De Minaur could finish number 8 or 9, which would be awkward. Imagine he makes the semis but finishes number. Or he can't finish. He won't finish number. He won't make the semis if he loses his ranking, I guess, because Musetti. Anyways, we'll talk about rankings when we get to the semis because then we'll have a better picture. All right. I mean, yeah, the rankings is crazy between Fritz and Shelton. 5 to 9, it is like 200 points. Like literally one win can change the entire. I mean, Shelton was number 5 coming in. Now he's number 9, right? That part of the rankings has been insane. Like you could do a daily rankings update, and there would be changes like mad every day this week. It's been like crazy. The gap between Sinkeraz and the others is wild. Yeah. All right, the whole 200 points for round robin, making 400 for the final and 500 for the winners were kind of weird. If De Minaur wins it all, he gets 1,100 points. Yes. That's how it works. It's kind of weird, but it's not. Yeah, Ben's out. He can win tomorrow though and win 200 points, but he's out. He can't make the semis. We needed a story like this on the men's side. Demon redemption story is great for the game. I agree. And it makes tonight's match very interesting. Like, I love that tonight's match is basically, if one player wins, this happens. If the other player wins, this happens. Like, it's so much easier to understand tonight. Whereas it would have been a bit of a shame if we went to tonight's match and Musetti had to win in straights. That would have been kind of annoying because, like, unlikely that's going to happen. But if Musetti wins in 3, which could happen, right? I mean, more likely that Musetti's going to drop a set, right? I mean, I don't think he's going to win. He would have to play ridiculously well, and also Alcaraz would have to probably play bad if he's going to win straights. But it's more realistic that Musetti, if he's going to win, it's going to be 3. That makes it so much more interesting tonight because if Musetti wins a set and Alcaraz wins the second, then it's 1 set to decide the semis. I mean, it could get real crazy tonight. And the fact that De Minaur, like, I literally in the start of the stream, I saw people saying De Minaur can't qualify, so, this doesn't matter. Like, that's how, like, everybody, and even I didn't realize that De Minaur could have had to win in straights and give himself a chance. I thought Demon had to win, like, love and love, right? I thought there was, like, this much of a chance, but I didn't realize until we started looking at it a bit deeper that, yeah, De Minaur could make the semis if he just does one thing and this other thing happens. I thought he had to like win easily and then hope that Alcaraz wins easily. Like, I didn't realize it was a little bit better, easy. If it was better for Demon, right? That De Minaur had a better chance than I thought. But most people were just like, well, Demon can't make it. He's 0-2. He's out. No chance. I mean, what a crazy turn of events if he qualifies. Yeah, he's written off. Yeah. I mean, after the match against Musetti, I think a lot of people, his reaction showed that, like, well, that's the end. It's over. End of the year. Done. And now Fritz is out. Again, 48 hours ago, he loses to Alcaraz in a very close match, competitive, and it's like, oh, well, you know, maybe if he gets another chance in the semis, he might be able to push one of these guys. That chance is not, it's gone. Fritz is out. His season is over. Like, it's crazy how like 48 hours ago, the results, like Fritz, he wins the second set, he's into the semis. If Musetti loses that final set, De Minaur makes it without even having to play, and then we're talking about maybe Alcaraz not making it. So, like, this group has been decided by, like, 2 or 3 games. You know, very important games over the last, like, 48 hours. It's crazy. You know? Yeah, what a turnaround. I mean, if Musetti beats Alcaraz and qualifies, that would be insane. But De Minaur making it is probably more insane. Because 48 hours ago, we thought he'd already packed his bags. And now he's like, shit, I better unpack because I might still be here for 2 days. But yeah. Anyways, exciting times. I'm so glad that there are all these, like, yeah, okay, Sinner, but, like, all these, like, sub-stories that are happening. Because it would have been really boring if it was like, oh, Sinner and Alcaraz and then everything else doesn't matter. But it's nice to see, like, De Minaur getting this, like, redemption, at least in the last 48 hours. You know, Musetti having to do this and that, and, you know, we've had some good matches as well. We could have a Sinner semi, possibly, if Musetti pulls up the upset, and then he'll play probably Zverev in the semis. I mean, Zverev Musetti semi, I didn't think that, right? So, like, it's nice to think that there's still plenty of It's still up in the air. You know, it's not decided. It's not just like, well, this is obviously going to happen and that's it. Like, there's still, like, after today, we'll find out who's going to make it. All right. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. We've got to wait 4 hours till the next match. 4 hours. 4 hours. Are you kidding me? 4 fucking hours. Day 4 Trace Collectible was really neat. Yeah, it's a cool. I like how they're all they're really looking. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you claim your prize for today. Again, shout out to Trace for sponsoring the stream this week, all the streams this week. But jump on there, sign up. It's free. You could win prizes, and those prizes are like player memorabilia, player gear, signed tennis balls, ATP Finals merch. All for free. You just go sign up, put your email in. They'll send you an email with a code. You put the code in, you make a username, you collect all week, and then you'll be fine. If you haven't collected up until this week, if this is the first time you're hearing of this, join it now because you can still win prizes if you collect over the next couple of days. Even if you just do it for 1 day. If you just do it 1 day and you forget about it, you could still win a Taylor Fritz shirt. That's day one. That's 1 day prize. So yeah. So thanks for Trace for sponsoring the streams this week. It really does help the channel. And if you could sign up, it does help them, which they're nice enough to sponsor. So if you support the sponsors, it helps the channel. All right. I'm out of here. But we have a very important match coming up in a couple of hours. I mean, I was already picking Alcaraz, but I've got an extra reason to go for Alcaraz now. Jump over. And thanks, sponsor. That's it. Jump on over and talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back in about 4 hours to watch the final match of the Jimmy Connors group. It's simple. If Alcaraz wins, he goes through with Demon. If Musetti wins, he goes through with Alcaraz. So De Minaur, Musetti's got it in his hands. It's a very hard thing to do. He's going to have to beat Alcaraz for the first time in years, not to mention on indoor hard court. But he's in Italy. It's at home. It'd be a remarkable win if he gets it in front of his home crowd. But it would probably be the best win of his year, clearly, number one in the world, beating him. But, of course, De Minaur is hoping Alcaraz wins. But I'll see you guys in about, in 4 hours, literally like 4 hours from now, we'll be live again. Demon wins, 7-6, 6-3. He knocks Fritz out. He keeps himself alive and making the semis somehow, some way, somehow. And he is now into, he's going to be watching the Alcaraz match like all of us and hoping to qualify. See you soon.